is IWC Proving Ground 6. It's going to be Chapter 1 for a lot of stars making their professional wrestling debuts here tonight. My name is Joe Dombrowski. I am joined at ringside by the Super Indy champion, the heir apparent Chris LeRusso, maybe scouting for some future competition.
I will tell you something, Joe Dombrowski. If these are future allies or future rivals, I want to see what the future has to hold.
Well, we talk about the future. I think the future of these two athletes is very bright, but let's talk about the past for just a moment, because last time we were in this building here in Rural Valley, Pennsylvania, it was Remy, LaVey, and Keith Haught standing tall after a hellacious street fight with Bronco McBride and Marshall Bull Gambino, and they come back to an old stomping grounds hoping to repeat that success, but they've been in a bit of a slump lately. Could this be the scenery they need to rebound?
Well, they're going up against a formidable opponents tonight. This would be a very, very difficult hole to dig out of if they lose one tonight.
And here's that blue partner from Los Angeles, California, weighing in at 193 pounds, Santana.
Santana Diamonds, a young go-getter from Los Angeles, California. We've seen him a number of times on our road events. Chris, Santana usually keeps to himself, a little bit shrouded in mystery. What do you think is the biggest asset, the biggest strength to what Santana Diamonds brings?
Santana Diamond beginning his sophomore campaign here in the world of professional wrestling, debuted at Proving Ground last year. I think he's had some trouble out of the gates, honestly. He hasn't really quite found his footing, but he seems a lot more confident. He seems a lot more sure of himself. Maybe the sophomore campaign will be a lot more profitable for him.
Well, he's with two guys that certainly know those fears and those perils. Keith Haught and Remy LaVey had a bit of a slow start in their own careers, abandoned by separate tag team partners. We're talking about tag teams. Let's meet the opponents.
Representing Calgary, Alberta, Canada, at a combined weight of 597 pounds, Jaxon or Team Dupree, Pollock,
Well, Argos, Dupree, and Pollock, all trained by Lance Storm, the Storm Wrestling Academy in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. And they aren't shy about telling you about it. A perhaps inflated sense of self, but it's brought them success. Thanks to Jack Pollock, all three now have regular spots on the IWC roster after beating Andrew Palace in a ladder match 2-on-1.
They've been talking a lot, but so far, Team Storm has backed up everything they have said. Team Storm have full-time spots on the IWC roster, and it looks like Team Storm is not shy about letting the people here in Royal Valley know what they think about them. Argos, the IWC Rookie of the Year.
How'd you tell? Still want to know how Argos stuffed that ballot box. And Pollock ready to fight here. Pollock, I think you'd agree with me, Chris LeRusso. Pollock, for the past several years, probably the most underrated talent in the Western Pennsylvania area. Is this his time to shine?
Absolutely. Oh, hold on.
Don't let him speak. Don't let him speak.
Too late now.
But I'm going to keep it short and sweet. Shut up, shut up. Let's the victor of war here. When I'm talking to you, shut up. You are all here to see the debuts of a bunch of rookies, aren't you? Are we here to see our loved ones? Yeah. Guess what? They will never live up to the standards set by the
Jeez, Argos is going to bust a blood vessel if he's not careful. It is six-man tag team action to kick off.
Energy's high already. This could explode from the jump.
As Rural Valley sets in for an important night of professional wrestling, because it's only one time and one chance to make a first impression, but for a half dozen men and women that will be tonight, Pollock, Argos, Dupree have already made their impression, certainly a very unfavorable one in the eyes of many of these fans, but we'll see if Diamonds, Haught, and Remy LaVey can pull off the victory. Is this their first time in six-man tag competition? I believe it may be, at least together as a trio.
Best of my knowledge.
As R.C. Dupree, the eccentric artist, I believe he's a painter.
I'm not sure about his grasp on the English language. Seems to speak in French more often than in English.
Is he like French, or I guess he's maybe French-Canadian?
I would assume French-Canadian.
Well, that doesn't really count then, does it? Hammerlock by Dupree.
I'll tell you what does count is those skills he learned at the Storm Wrestling Academy.
You think Lance Storm is proud of these guys?
You know, we haven't really heard too much from Lance. Lance has indicated on social media his pride in Jack Pollock. Not as much with Dupree and Argos, but their careers are still in their infancy.
You think he's proud of the brashness, the boisterousness, the braggadociousness of Team Storm? Certainly that goes against what Lance Storm stood for. He was always a very serious tactician.
Very, personality-wise, complete opposites. However, you can't deny their technical prowess.
Santana Diamond's able to turn things around. And Santana's certainly someone who's quietly grown here in IWC over the past year or so since his debut. Shoulder tackle, nicely done. Diamonds has gained a bit of confidence, gained a bit of footing, but we'll see if Remy and Haught is the missing piece to the puzzle he's been looking for.
Blocks hip toss.
Diamonds with a takedown, feeling pretty good about himself. And Dupree.
Nice body slam.
Yeah. On the receiving end is Dupree. Diamonds able to string the offense together.
Diamonds not capitalizing. Dupree is... Oh.
Maybe attempt at a cutter, but a tag. And in comes Jack Pollock, the man who unceremoniously inserted himself in that ladder match that led to a full-time spot here in the International Wrestling Cartel.
We'll say that showed a little bit of Santana's continued rookie mistakes. I think he had Dupree Rock could have maybe hit the cutter if he would have capitalized a little bit faster.
Dupree got out of there at any cost as Remy LaVey tagged in the mind
eraser. Now that's disrespect.
Remy, a bit of a loner, marches to the beat of his own drum. Doesn't really conform to the societal norms.
Short headbutt.
And we'll see if that unorthodox nature can will him on, where we saw Remy and Keith Haught chase the IWC tag titles for much of 2016. Held them for a couple of weeks back last spring, but a subsequent rematch with the Fraternity, as well as
nice right hand.
A tough loss to Colby Red and PB Smooth as part of our event a month ago, has left
the
Remy and
Maestro
Haught,
cradle
has left them reeling.
I'll tell you something, Remy has improved so much. I've actually been in the ring with this guy, and I have seen the increase in his ability and his talents.
And I think with that has just come, check out this double team.
Double atomic elbow.
If you will, baby, we getting funky in Rural Valley. Cover for two. Remy LaVey's confidence has grown, and I think Keith's has as well. They've done a great job feeding off of each other. Alone, they're a bit, you call them outcasts.
Line tag made.
But together, really the whole is bigger than the sum of the parts.
Uh-oh. This is starting to break down.
Everybody in the ring, look out. Time to count along with Rural Valley. And Team Storm attempting a counter here. Bit of hesitation.
Oh!
With Team Remy, but a great adjustment.
And Team Storm is on the retreat.
And
this is a good six-man combination. I didn't know if this... Look out!
Remy with a baseball slide.
Uh-oh, but he's in enemy territory now. It's 3-on-1.
Yeah, the fight continues. And And Santana Diamond's gonna launch himself. Oh no! Oh no! No! It's a big boy!
No! Get out of the front row!
Fly, Haught, fly!
Oh! Did the floor collapse?
And Rural Valley may never be the same!
That registered on the Richter scale back in Pittsburgh.
Hey, keep in mind, Chris, Keith Haught once nearly won the Super Indy title one Proving Ground. He has a lot of luck in this event.
Team Storm reeling, and they're in big trouble here.
The Bearcat Keith Haught unloading. Oh, ducked the head too soon. Argos capitalizes.
Uh-oh.
Haught. Oh, no. No!
Thank God our cameras can't see that.
Oh. Oh! Cover!
I am astonished that Argos kicked out of that.
I'm astonished we're on the air. Does Sorgatron Media have pixelation? Tag into rep.
Oh, good Lord.
How fitting is it to have mess written under that? Double whip coming. Hip lock connects. Remy with a cover, 2 and no.
Can somebody please tell?
You know, this is Proving Ground. If Keith Haught doesn't cut it as a Russian, he'll make a hell of a plumber. I can't say I feel bad for Argos, though, as Dupree connects with a knee. Remy LaVey didn't like it. Pollock got it as well.
Uh-oh, but Remy's in enemy territory.
Argos, finally the numbers game catches up with Remy. Official trying to reprimand Argos as Pollock creates some unscrupulous activity on the blind side of the official, raising the ire of Diamonds and Haught. Pollock tagged in now.
Remy's in major trouble. He's in that enemy corner.
I think Pollock has all the tools to be a future IWC singles champion.
Oh, absolutely. He's had success everywhere he's been. Ooh. Oh! Pollock has had success everywhere he has been. A lot of people feel that it was only a matter of time until he came to the International Wrestling Cartel. And now that he's here, I think it's only a matter of time until he holds some gold.
You and Pollock have rode the roads together in recent weeks a little bit, right?
Oh, absolutely. Longtime friend of mine. You know, you cannot overstate the talent of this man. Deceptively strong, deceptively agile.
Recent stop at the world-famous Monster Factory over in New Jersey.
Almost won the Monster Factory Cup a few weeks ago.
Now Argos unloaded with the elbows.
He calls this the Jaxon 5.
Oh, God.
Oh! 4 hits and a miss.
Yeah. And the miss may be what counts if Remy can get to his corner. He got the 5th one. 5th one was late to the stage.
Oh, Argos making a...
Only 2.
Argos showing a little bit of, his rookie tendencies. If he'd have known where the referee was, he might have gotten the pinfall on that.
And I think Argos is somebody who's got a bright future as well, but the guy just will never shut up. Dupree in. It's hard to give these guys credit when they're so full of themselves.
Irish whip. Oh!
Heel kick.
Nice heel kick.
Irish whip by a French guy. Does that break some kind of territorial boundaries? 2 count.
Would it be a French Canadian whip?
French Canadian Irish multicultural.
Yeah.
It's a Renaissance man.
It's an international whip.
Argos tagged back in. Argos and Dupree have showed great chemistry in their own right.
Oh!
Remy able to fight. We've seen Remy fight the odds before in this building. Dupree into Argos.
Oh!
Takedown and everybody hurt. But look how far away Remy LaVey is from his corner.
Remy could have reached back and made the tag. Instead, he decided to go for offense. Devastating maneuver, but it might cost him in the long run.
Well, we'll see. The crawl is on. Argos needs out of there as well.
Tag made.
Pollock in. Here comes Haught. And Keith Haught explodes off the hot tag.
Oh!
And Todd connects. There's using your body as an offensive weapon.
Oh, low bridge!
See you, bye. Argos, he couldn't wait to get out of there. Low bridge is a
oh, what a roundhouse kick!
To the temple.
Snake blade!
There's that combo offense. And that could be time for the hot mess.
If he hits this, it's over!
Dupree has Remy LaVey. Argos with Haught. Haught pushes him off.
Who just ate their guardrail? I couldn't see from my vantage point.
That was Remy LaVey, I believe.
Oh, hot mess!
That'll do it! Dupree with the save.
Just in the nick of time.
My goodness. Dupree with a code breaker. She hate to land storms for her partner. And he got the cutter that time, did Santana.
Oh, flatliner!
Argos dropped Santana. And he's humble too. Now measuring Remy.
Keith's right behind him. Argos doesn't see it.
Oh no!
Did he hit his own partner?
Argos had sidestepped. Haught accidentally made contact with Remy.
Oh!
The big
a
boot
big
by
boot!
Pollock. That mafia kick. Nobody gets up from that. And the threesome from north of the border have done the duty again. They have defeated their opposition, and momentum keeps building for Argos, Dupree, and Jack Pollock. Team Storm in IWC and continue to build that momentum, continue to stay dominant. Chris LeRusso, what do you see the future of this threesome in the International Wrestling Cartel?
I'll tell you something, Joe. It would surprise me a great deal if by the time we were back in Royal Valley, these guys were not holding gold.
It could very easily come to fruition. And on a night of Proving Ground, it's important to mention Argos and Dupree, still very young in the game in their own right. Their best years are ahead of them, and that's scary to think about. Argos and Dupree have shown a lot of very natural ability. Certainly their upbringing has not hurt them in the least. Jack Pollock, the mentor, as well. And you got a feel for Remy LaVey and Keith Haught as you see the victors, Team Storm.
I mean, it was a miscue. It was a very basic miscue. Things looked like they were going their way.
Things did. We saw the hot mess, and unfortunately, it just couldn't lead to the 1-2-3. And it's been a rough several months for Keith Haught and Remy LaVey. And you know there'll be better days for these two young athletes. You're talking about guys who have the world ahead of them.
I think I see some swelling under Remy's eye.
Well, we'll see what the future holds. All the best to Keith Haught and Remy LaVey as they're down by Team Storm in this opening six-man tag team attraction. Well, we are taking a look at an athlete we have seen before here in IWC. Samantha Heights has a decorated history, especially in the Midwest. She's really amassed a following for herself. A little bit off the beaten path, a little bit punk rock, but that's not a bad thing at all. She gets the job done. We saw her before one of our Clearfield events. Great to see her back in Rural Valley, absolutely. Well, it's our first time seeing Jinx. She's a graduate of the IWC Wrestling Academy, the Iron City Wrestling Academy, and Jinx has a very bubbly and effervescent personality, but from what I understand, that's not all she brings to the table.
She looks like a walking pixie stick.
And boy, is she happy to be here. But we understand that the mood can change on Jinx from those that have trained with her. And we'll see if that positive attitude maintains, or perhaps we'll see a little bit different side. But I'm looking forward to seeing Samantha Heights, because I look at Samantha Heights as somebody who can very easily be a major force in the IWC Women's Division, potential challenger for Britt Baker if she can string enough successful victories together. Samantha Heights maybe on her way to becoming pound for pound one of the best female athletes in the Midwest.
Oh, roll up!
Jinx catches her off guard. Now, Chris, certainly you've been in the ring against a myriad of different opponents. How do you scout for somebody that there's no footage of? There's no way to prepare for what Jinx brings to the table. I don't know.
Oh my!
Takeover didn't get all the grip that she needed, but she was able to leverage Samantha Heights over, and you can tell Samantha's caught off guard. She didn't see that coming.
Oh! Dropped a hole in the buckle. To answer your earlier question, I think a good indicator of somebody that you don't have any footage on is to look at their training history. Look at the school that they came from. They can tell you a lot about... Oh!
Ow! Jinx can't tell you much of anything about now. She may have forgotten half her training.
Staggered.
Well, even to your point, looking at the training, there have been such a diverse array of athletes to come from IWC, from Andrew Palace to Jimmy Nuts, Elias Sampson, DJ Z, Britt Baker. We got all shapes and sizes throughout IWC, up and down. And Jinx, to me, is still a giant question mark. But Samantha Heights is not going to wait to find an answer. Mocking Jinx.
Oh, by the hair.
Hope that you've adequately prepared Mr. LeRusso for a new test to you in the form of Shane in your face.
Oh, I've had a lot of time to study the footage of Shane in your face. Samantha Height showing she's not willing to bend. She's not afraid to bend the rules to get an advantage.
Not in the least.
Oh!
Notice Samantha using the ring as an offensive weapon as Jinx tied up. In your first match, you're not going to necessarily be as comfortable in the ropes or with your ring positioning as you would later on. So Heights doing a great job of using Jinx's surroundings against her.
Devastating kick. Is Jinx smiling?
I hope not.
I think she actually smiled after that.
What kind of sick person to smile after that? Count of one. Well, I'll give Jinx credit because she wasted no time kicking out. And again, your first matchup, the pressure's on, and it's very easy to succumb to that pressure. The lights are bright, there's an audience on you for the first time. Sometimes it's just a big struggle to just have the guts and gumption to come through that curtain, let alone get into a fight.
Absolutely.
But Jinx fights on. I respect that. Now into the buckle. Heights waited for a little bit. That didn't pay off. Look at Jinx.
Wait a minute! Tarantula! Or no, a modified tarantula!
Yeah, modified version of it. Sticks with the upper body as the neck crimped, while the legs are holding the arms and shoulders into place. Of course, not a legal move.
Wrench on the neck.
You only have 4.5 seconds to put it on before it's a disqualification in 5. Ow.
Jinx showing her inexperience, should have gone on the attack.
Yeah, just that split half second of hesitation was all Samantha Heights needed. But credit to Jinx, she stayed on her feet and she's staying fighting.
Oh, headbutt.
And Jinx showing no fear and
Going to the top rope.
Headbutting another woman in the skull has picked up her mood. She's smiling again. Cross body.
Diving crossbody.
But Haught's up quickly. I think Jinx not only disoriented Samantha Haught, but maybe made her mad a little bit. Ow.
Jinx not that big. I think under 100 pounds. Those kicks are just rocking her entire body.
5 minutes gone by.
Well, Jinx refers to herself as the best kind of bad luck, and she's given Samantha Haught a trouble or two here, but we'll see if that luck's going to run out, as Samantha Haught's tending to say about it. Ow! Jinx is biting the forearm of Samantha Haught.
I wonder if Jinx has had a rabies shot.
I don't think she learned that at her school. Jinx almost a sadistic look of pleasure on her face. Now she breaks the fight and ups the
now
intensity.
she's throwing it.
That's a side of Jinx I didn't see when this matchup started.
Big headbutt. Bulldog out of the...
Well, nicely done. We know Jinx is tenacious. She's a fighter. She comes from a rough upbringing. No, she was always the overlooked, the underutilized, the one that was laughed off and wrote off for being
diving drop kick.
Being too small, being unintimidating, being not good enough, but Jinx is here to prove some people wrong. Maybe Samantha Haught's on that list for 2.
I was well in control. I think she might have downshifted a little bit, not taking Jinx as seriously as she should have.
That's a mistake.
Haught is angry.
Ooh.
Uh-oh. Oh, look, she's way tied up.
Fisherman suplex, beautiful bridge. And I can't believe Jinx kicked out. Samantha had those fingers locked and everything.
Kind of a variation of fisherman suplex, but across the body, he'd be even more tied up.
Credit to Jinx. That was not an easy move to find a way out of. Go behind. Samantha counters.
Oh, this could be it.
Jinx trying to knee her way free. Knees right to the chest cavity.
Sunset flip!
Could this be all
together?
Wow! And I gotta call that a big upset, Chris.
That's a major upset!
Jinx, hey, maybe Samantha Haught looked past her. Maybe Samantha Haught thought this one was in the bag, but anything but her first professional match, the beginning of her record book. She can all look back on it. It started right here tonight with a victory.
Unbelievable.
And now we see that effervescent personality again. Jinx showed a few different sides of that personality. We saw some good, some bad, maybe a little bit of ugly, mixed in with some adorable, but I think it worked out.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following tag team contest is scheduled for one fall. Now, per the pre-match stipulations, if Cory Futuristic has a friend and can produce that friend here tonight, and they are able to win the match, Cory's friend will become an official member of the SPD. Furthermore, this match is not sanctioned by the International Wrestling Cartel.
Should be sanctioned under international law.
Determined by the SPD. Therefore, let's meet our special guest referee.
Oh, God.
This could be anyone.
What if the referee's imaginary?
Is he walking to the ring right now and we just don't see him?
Well, it was close to nobody.
They said this wasn't sanctioned under international wrestling cartel laws. This shouldn't be sanctioned under international laws, period. These guys are a bunch of freaks.
Yeah? Well, we'll see. We heard Kitch set the stage as far as the stipulation here.
Cory's got no one.
What is Pump Ferrari going to accomplish by reffing this matchup?
Get out of the house.
Was this a Flexor thing, I guess?
Oh, what? Like it could be anyone else.
There's a lot of weird people in this match that could have had this idea.
No, but Flexor's the one who normally takes the lead.
Could have been Kitch's idea for all I know.
I told you he had no one! I told you, he's got nobody.
LeRusso is so into this segment, he keeps yelling over Kitch. Cory Futuristic is on his phone, apparently trying to get a hold of his buddy. I mean, someone exists. We saw a training.
He's been talking to no one.
We saw a training video.
We saw nothing.
He was talking to nobody a couple months ago. But there obviously is somebody.
There's no person. He has lost his mind. He has been talking to himself.
Next thing you're going to say he's not really from the future.
I got something to say about that.
He trains with Nolan Gowan in the future. They're good buddies. Jack's got a second son now. I bet he trains with him too.
We absolutely have reception here. I don't know what he's talking about.
Takes a lot of bars to contact an invisible friend. So if Cory and his buddy win, they get to join the STDs.
There is no buddy.
Who's he on the phone with?
Himself.
What? Says Flexor's so sure there's not going to be a match, he left all of his fluffy, feathery jackets at home. Ginger leading out Chest Flexor and the Wild Child.
Is that the Lee Ryan's fan club?
Takes all kinds, Chris.
We are in Royal Valley.
All right,
this will be good.
Let's get some answers.
Like we said, your friend isn't here. Where's that hit over there in the corner? Is that him? Where's that him? Oh, is that him in the Flexor?
Flexor's the only one that hasn't seen him.
You know what that means? You owe me $4, yeah!
$4.
That's more money than I think Cory has.
Okay.
Cory had two friends, he'd owe $8.
I want one of those dollars.
He's here.
He's here! He's here!
He's here! You're a liar! You're a liar!
He's here.
Wait, what's this?
Apparently he didn't get the email about call time, but he's here. All right, who is he? What is he? Who?
Billy who?
Billy Ruxpin.
What is going to step through those curtains?
He exists!
What is that?
It's a Billy Ruxpin! I'm not sure he knows where to go.
He's real!
He's screaming to everybody he's real as if he just realized it. But Flexor now is aware.
I am beyond confused.
I'm just amazed Cory has a friend to begin with. And the best news is Cory keeps the $4. You can spend that $4 at like my merchandise table. There is a Cory's friend chant in Rural Valley.
Was the name Billy Ruxpin?
Billy Ruxpin.
Wait, Flexor wants the money!
Flexor, for a guy that once claimed to have $1 million or $1 billion, he's really clamoring for $4.
Bring the...
Look at Cory! Cory with a Lamai straw cradle!
in the ropes, though.
Now this, Chris, is the equivalent of a sparring match. This is an exhibition. This is a friendly competition between the STDs, although Flexor just stole $4 from his friend.
And Billy Ruxpin just stole it back.
So the $4, he only gets the $4 if he can win.
Flexor went for an arm drag and couldn't even move this man.
It's a big guy for being invisible. He's what, 270, 80 pounds?
That is a lot of man.
How'd we miss him for so long?
Oh.
Lee Ryan's, God, downstairs. Lee Ryan's is what would happen if Michael Hayes accidentally stepped in Cory Futuristic's time travel machine.
Airplane spin!
Billy Ruxpin with an airplane spin! Now Lee Ryan's is going to see 3 or 4 imaginary friends. And Ruxpin tags out to Cory. Where's McDowell in all this?
What is going on?
What happened to my life?
Oh!
Knife edge chop to Lee Ryan's. That's for not believing me.
That's a rather vicious for a sparring session.
Well, I think Cory's upset that he was the what? Leg lariat by Cory Futuristic? I think Cory's upset that he was the laughing stock of the STDs the past couple of months.
And that's saying something.
Tag back into Ruxpin.
Is he going for a figure 4? Modified figure 4! Oh!
And Ruxpin with a head! Could this be all? 2 and no.
For Flexor not to understand what is going on around here, we have gone into truly bizarre territory.
Well, that makes all of us then. It's unanimous at this point. Atomic drop as Lee Ryan's out on his feet. Drop kick connects.
Impressive drop kick. This might be the best I've seen Cory Futuristic in a long time.
I've said it's definitely the most impressive we've seen Cory Futuristic, and that's not what I expected. He's usually known for awkward dancing and unusual pelvic thrusts.
Has this friend maybe motivated to get some of the best out of Cory Futuristic?
Cory set for the ride. Back body drop.
Oh,
nicely
big
done.
back body drop by Lee Ryan's.
Hollywood John Tatum would be proud of Lee Ryan's.
No one's gonna get that.
Yeah, that's the part where the segment got too weird. You're right. Into the buckle. Another back body drop. Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert would be proud.
All right, so yeah, I'll meet you halfway on that.
Tag to Flexor. Flexor is dressed rather conservatively compared to normal.
Oh, for Flexor standards, yes. There was a time that he was dressed like a sheep and Ginger like Little Bo Peep.
Yeah.
There was the time he was dressed like a paper dragon.
Yeah.
Am I missing any of the more?
Oh, there's a laundry list. You just got to go to IndyWrestling.us and hopefully on a weekend where they're doing a sale and just go through the whole years of lineage. Sorgatron Media will catalog it all on the website.
Out the back.
Oh, Cory trying to get to Billy Ruxpin for the tag. Back here comes Lee
STDs
Ryan.
have successfully cut off Cory Futuristic.
Yeah.
I will say this, as bizarre and as weird as these guys are, they do work very well as a unit.
Could you imagine if Billy Ruxpin, though, and Cory are successful as we have a 2 count, and there's a bigger STD than ever floating around the locker room?
Wait, what?
Lee Ryan's now with a chin lock on Cory Futuristic. Cutting off the blood supply to the brain via the carotid artery. Let's do the anatomical analysis here. Let's break this down. Here comes Flexor.
This match feels like it's cut off the flow to my brain.
You need to stay up and alert, pal. You got an important match tonight.
Oh! Assisted Russian leg sweep there.
Yeah.
Is he asking for a fast count?
If it was a real Russian leg sweep, they could have hacked Cory's phone and found out Billy was real. Oh, elbow by Cory.
Back elbow.
Well, Flexor went to fast count so he could get the $4. As there's a modified bulldog. Almost shades of Spike Dudley by Cory Futuristic. And can we see a tag? Billy Ruxpin's ready to get in there.
Itching for that tag.
Lee Ryan's and Billy Ruxpin are in. Lee walked right into a jab. Second one now. And Ruxpin's taking care of everybody. Big wind up.
Big back elbow.
Everything this guy does is big. Big drop to the floor. And Cory using him as a springboard. Nice roll through.
Oh! Punt to the midsection.
Flexor was ready. Keep in mind, Flexor's the veteran in this match. He's insane, but he's intelligent as well. And now setting up Cory.
Double flapjack.
Lover boy Dennis would be proud of Lee Ryans.
I think he could have gone for the cover, but
Well,
Ruxpin's the legal man.
Yeah, Cory not the legal man at all. And Ruxpin puts the brakes on. Look, what's this now? Ruxpin breaks the grip.
Oh!
Don't turn your back on the wild child. Nice double team.
I told you these guys work well together. Big slam on Ruxpin.
Flexor using his body as an offensive weapon. Will the STDs win $4? 2? No.
Crowd going for here.
Crowd behind Billy Ruxpin firmly here. Double suplex coming.
They're gonna get him into the buckle. Look at that. Uh-oh. No way.
Against, oh! Now that's power.
That is deceptive strength from that man.
I don't care who you're hanging around with. That's damn impressive. Listen to these people. Ruxpin ahead of steam.
Oh, what a splash!
But
What? Was he not the legal? He was not the legal man.
Pump Ferrari's keeping better track of this than any of us. And here's the wild child. Oh, could he get that wild driver? That pile driver? No, Cory trips him up. Jackknife pin. Ferrari counts.
Oh!
Flexor the save.
We almost had a new STD. And now it's down to Ruxpin. Now the legal men are in the ring.
Now, Lee Ryans a roll-up. He's got tights. The STDs win. Well, Cory proves his point that he really had a buddy, but the STDs get the victory.
Flexor is now $4 whole richer.
Hey, every dollar counts in this business. And Flexor once paid. Pump Ferrari was holding the money. There you go. The winner's share of the purse money, $4.
Less after expenses.
Wait till he files his taxes on this one. $1 for Ferrari, $1 for Lee Ryan, $1 for Cory, and $1 for Flex. No money left over for Billy Ruxpin. Billy's loved. He's out of the shadows. He's a new man.
Look at that!
He earned his $1. We may have a new STD after all, Chris. Oh, Chris, it's like Savage and Elizabeth all over again.
Oh, I'm gonna be sick.
The STDs are back together, and boy, are they enjoying it. It's a new era for the STDs and IWC.
Enjoy that, kids. Some places your paydays aren't that big.
Billy Ruxpin, $1 richer and a new career as the STDs move onward here in IWC. What a match. What a match.
Returning from a vacation at the LeRusso Club, with a name at 148 pounds,
Calvin Couture, fresh off vacation in Palm Beach, Florida. From what I understand, he's a self-described fashionista. He's a socialite. He enjoys the finest wines, the finest clothing. He's all about social status. He's all about walking into a room and you believing that he's better than you because he's got more money and comes from better means. From what I understand, Benjamin C. Steele now joining me, he didn't actually personally work for any of that money. That's more family money.
Well, the Couture family, I'm going to give you a scoop, Joe Dombrowski. The Couture family and the Steele family goes back generations and generations, and that is my own personal stylist. The wardrobe you see me in right now, actually suggested by the great Calvin Couture.
That explains a lot.
Thank you. The socialite of all socialites. And did you see all the women go insane? I think the divorce rate just went up by about 40%.
He didn't even take his vest off yet. I think I saw a few females headed for the exit, actually.
They're heading to their cars, waiting for him.
Now here's who people came to see. It doesn't matter how he dresses, what he drinks, or where he came from. Andrew Palace is special, and he's got that frenetic energy that makes him the Spazmanian devil of the IWC.
Well, Joe, you're right. He is special. There's no doubt about that. The man, you want to know what he drinks? 7 Red Bulls to start the day. You want to know where he lives? Wherever he falls asleep the night before. There's a lot of people I don't like, and Andrew Palace is at the top of that list.
I can tell. But Andrew Palace, he's a man of the people. He doesn't think he's better or worse off than anybody. We're all in this together, and we have followed Andrew Palace's success from a rookie in a Proving Ground some years ago to 2 Super Indy championships. Palace comes back to Proving Ground 6, the veteran. Could that be in the future of Calvin Couture, or could he be a one-hit wonder? Is Calvin Couture going to remove the bow tie?
No, actually, since you were making references earlier, it's reminiscent of the Fantastics and the bow tie and or the Fabulous ones, rather.
Well, actually, they both did it, so your reference makes sense all around.
See, he's a man. Look at that. What a nice guy.
I think Bobby Fulton's got way more class than Calvin Couture. Bobby Fulton's kids have more class than Calvin Couture.
Now, will this match be for $4 like...
I don't think Couture would have agreed if it was only for $4.
He made him slap himself. Palace is a dummy. Award Couture the match right now.
That's not how you win.
It is.
Do you really think it's a wise idea to upset Andrew Palace before the bell? Or after the bell, for that matter, any time in life?
See, he said it was funny. Maybe Palace does have a sense of humor.
I think he has a great sense of humor, but Calvin Couture...
I know he does.
Looks down on people. That's what you get.
Now, that was uncalled for. You're going to be slapping men around.
Look at Palace launching Couture. Calvin says it's all about the Couture culture.
Hashtag Couture culture, by the way.
I don't think anybody's going to be tweeting about that.
Well, see, the hashtags are popular with the kids.
And Couture, now he's through the ropes and he's fixing his hair.
Well, his hair, I believe, is okay.
He picked the wrong line of work if he's worried about his hair. Chop, nothing doing. Palace felt a fly land on him.
Oh, jeez.
Oh! Oh, no! Well, he'll have a brand new red and purple chest to show off for that bright white vest.
Don't worry, Joe. Couture may be a slow starter, but he's a big finisher.
Slow starter?
He's messing up the hair. That's a disqualification. If Bill Watts were here, he'd be fined $5,000.
Bill Watts? Check out Palace. Wow, huge impact in the corner.
We almost had that bow tie land in our lap.
I think Couture has no idea where he thinks he's back in Palm Beach. Oh no.
Hit the ref. Kick him!
Stop it! Hey, Couture from behind a chop block.
That's legal-ish.
I think Couture came into this match looking to humiliate Palace, and he underestimated how difficult this matchup would be. But Couture, shoulder to the post for Palace, as Calvin takes over, as he hangs up Palace on the ring rope. Double handful of hair into the cover. All right, you say you've known Calvin for quite some time. What is the best asset of Calvin Couture? What does he bring to the table?
he brings to the table an unbelievably high self-confidence. And in professional wrestling, with the ladies, in any walk of life, that is important.
I see no women reacting to him at all.
Well, that told you the divorce rate went up. They went outside to tell their husbands they're not coming home tonight, is what happened. Look at that. Well, he's trying to call it, Joe.
Hope they didn't use Cory's phone to call their husbands, wouldn't get any signal. Roll up by Couture attempted here, but Palace just too big. What's Palace got, 30, 40 pounds on Calvin?
Perhaps. You know, Calvin has slimmed down. He's been carbo loading and proteins, low fat.
I don't care.
Well, Joe, this is what I bring to the table. I let you know about people. That's how commentary works.
That's why this table's falling apart. Couture the knee to the face of Palace. Couture able to catch Palace coming in, or coming out, I should say. Smart strategy there, but man, he wanted to savor the moment rather than capitalize. And if Couture wants to bask in the glory of himself, I think he picked a bad time to do it.
No, but he is smart there. He's taking a breather. He gets. Well, in Hampton's wrestling, you actually get 3 timeouts. In Key Largo, Montego. Baby, why don't we go? We can go down to Coconut.
Yeah, I wish you'd get out of here. Isn't Couture worried about like scuffing up that bow tie?
Well, it's actually silk. It just repels everything. And why are you so salty? You get to do commentary with the Super Indy champion, Chris LeRusso, and me. It's like your birthday.
Is it?
All we need is a cake and some candles. And
Palace fighting off Couture.
And Couture fighting back. Be fair.
Couture is fighting back. He promised a hostile makeover of IWC Wrestling. Ow.
Well, as Couture would say, jealousy is a disease.
Into Guri connect. Now, that's nicely done. I'll give Couture credit. Another. And just to hang with Andrew Palace for these past several minutes is a positive. It's certainly something many have tried and not everyone has succeeded at, especially for Couture to be on the upper hand for so long.
I'll give the devil his due. All the credit in the world for Andrew Palace, but he's not as refined as Calvin Couture. He's not as debonair as Calvin Couture.
It's only so far. The elegance of Calvin Couture will win a wrestling match. As Couture hits face first, you know he's offended about that one, gotta be.
Well, absolutely. He could have hurt the bow tie. He could have hurt that face.
Could have hurt the bow tie.
You don't have a $5,000 bow tie. Your whole outfit, every outfit you own is not $5,000.
Yeah, his bow tie's fractured in 2 places. Get out of here. Couture's trying to leave.
Well, if we do need a bow tieologist,
let him go. See you later, pal. Palace sent into the post, or at least attempted to. He's able to block it. I think Couture should try something else.
Smart move there. See, smart move. Broke the grip.
And Palace able to trip him up. And Couture is literally crawling away from Palace.
He's taking a breather. He's just,
it's not the most dignified debut. Hey, Calvin's tough, but he's a fighter in there so far, but not the most dignified debut.
Look at fighting away at the ankle and the shin and the other parts of the leg.
He's like a little kid.
Get him! Well, see, there's padding there, or else Palace would be hurting right now.
Oh, clearly.
I was going to invite you to one of his parties. I don't think I'm going to now.
Oh, darn. What will I do with myself? Ow!
That was just disrespectful.
It may be a going away party for Couture. Palace has his way. Back suplex. Good night. Calvin has no idea what's coming. Shotgun drop kick. And Palace feels the energy.
Whoop-de-doo.
It could be time for the hernia driver. Calvin is prone. Counter. Joe, look at this. Roll up. Short DDT, nicely done.
That's it. Come on, 1, 2, 3.
Great resourcefulness by Couture, but Palace doesn't look like he's out of it yet.
Well, he should be.
Palace able to counter. And hernia driver. Will he get it? Got him! Palace victorious! We saw Palace counter Couture's attempted culture shout, came back with a hernia driver, but I think the personality and the air that Couture came in about him was not conducive to defeating Andrew Palace here tonight.
Well, Couture may have come up on the short end of the stick, but I will say one thing, that is the most impressive bow tie I've seen in IWC, and
Why are you still talking about the bow tie?
Because it stayed on perfectly, and there may be no man more cultured and refined than Calvin.
It's crooked, or that just might be Calvin's spine, never mind. Andrew Palace victorious! Back to his winning ways in IWC. Best of luck to Calvin Couture as he returns to the socialite life. But Andrew Palace rules the ring. Well, a man that's been chasing the IWC Tag Team titles for the better part of a year now, in what may be his last opportunity with a most... We've seen John McChesney with a myriad of tag team partners over the past several months before he tore his gastrocnemius muscle and was out of action for upwards of 6 months. John McChesney found a most unexpected partner, courtesy of the IWC reset button a month ago. Our photographer, Daniel Hooven, and Chris LeRusso now back with me. They performed better than maybe any of us expected they would.
How much did he pay Kitch for that introduction?
Proving Ground turns into Hooven Ground, as the t-shirt says. Hooven was absolutely humiliated a month ago. His glasses, his expensive camera, and really his pride and dignity completely smashed in front of our entire audience, courtesy of the Fraternity. And we know Hooven has been training very hard for the opportunity to get some retribution.
I'll give the kid credit. He looks like he's in great shape. I mean, I understand he's been trying to sit under the learning tree of John McChesney. Whether or not that's a wise decision is really up for debate, in my opinion.
Well, in your opinion, hey, John McChesney, when you talk about cumulative days, John's been IWC champion for longer than anybody in our 16-year history. That means a lot. McChesney's been through some of the toughest wars in IWC history, and we'll see if McChesney can finally capture the triple crown of IWC titles tonight.
Oh good, they got a mic.
The squeaking sounds better than chanting.
I don't care which cousin or friend or son you paid to see tonight. Nobody paid to see a photographer in tights. You bought our shit last month, you idiot. We can wait. But Daniel, there's good news, because it's not too late for you. You see, you can come right over here with all these losers who are too afraid to chase their dreams and go back back to being a photographer. And there's no shame in that. It's a hell of a ride you've had, but now it's time to end, Daniel. So what do you say?
He really was a hell of a photographer.
Take a seat, Daniel. What do you say, Daniel? Come on. Let's see what these people think. Do you think Hooven should go back to being a photographer like all of you losers?
Fraternity trying to psych out their opposition.
Joey's only been training a month.
Is that the broken camera of Hooven around Trent Gibson's neck?
I think it is.
There's further insult to injury.
I got this in front of you. Stay right there, John.
Now what? Well, Fraternity try to jumpstart this matchup. Keep in mind, Chris, the only reason Fraternity are still tag team champions is on a technicality. McChesney and Hooven technically were victorious in that matchup, but thanks to the technicality of the reset button not picking McChesney, the contract for the night was violated.
Oh my God!
And thus the title victory was waived.
That wasn't a bad hip. That wasn't a bad body slam.
Not at all. A lot more refined and polished than we saw a month ago. Will it be enough to lead to maybe the most inexperienced tag champion in IWC history?
It wasn't a bad chop.
He's learned from one of the best choppers in the business. Seen these guys in training montages. Back elbow connects. The double elbow, nicely done.
I cannot believe the McChesney taught this kid everything in a month.
Why wouldn't he? And Decker with a miscue hit his own partner. And McChesney and Hooven sent it for the ride. Can you imagine how IWC will turn upside down at McChesney and Hooven win the tag goal?
I cannot believe that.
What is this?
No way.
Maybe Hooven got a little too excited. Well, and there's the inexperience. Hooven got a little too big for his britches there. McChesney tried to calm him down, and the Fraternity takes over.
Oh no.
Guys. Hooven flies with a plancha.
Are you kidding me?
Hey, Hooven will not be silenced. He won't be held back. This guy was humiliated in front of the IWC World a month ago, and those mental scars are not going to heal easy. Hooven is coming for retribution. Titles or no titles, win, lose, or draw, be damned. Hooven is here to make sure the Fraternity respect Hooven whether they want to or not.
Did Hooven twist his ankle?
Well, again, we look at the high-risk nature of this industry, and Hooven's looked great thus far, but there's always that risk, and Decker takes advantage of that weak point that you pointed out.
I blame McChesney for that. I absolutely blame McChesney for that. You'd think that if he had somebody that he had a month to mold, that he would be smart enough. Oh!
Ooh. And here's why the Fraternity have dominated IWC Tag Wrestling for over a year now. Trent Gibson in. And come on, referee, do something.
Yeah, this doesn't surprise me. It really doesn't. Nothing against Dan Hooven, but for goodness sakes, he's been training a month. He's in there with the IWC Tag Team Champions. I tell you, McChesney's going to get this kid hurt.
I understand your point, Chris, but isn't there something to be said for standing up for yourself and being a man?
And there's also a point for common sense. He's going in there against two decorated champions in one of the most dangerous sports in the world.
Yeah, but until the contractual technicality, they were victorious a month ago.
John McChesney is so obsessed with being a champion again, is so obsessed with being relevant again. He's going to put this kid's career at risk.
Cover, 2 count. You're going to criticize somebody else about being obsessed with being a champion?
John McChesney is going to put this person at risk.
But that's a risk that Hooven is willingly accepting.
Unreal. How the mighty have fallen.
Who, McChesney?
McChesney, absolutely McChesney. You were saying the most decorated champion of all time, the most decorated IWC superstar of all time.
His first match back from gastric anemia surgery, and he pinned the tag team champions.
A fluke, and you know it.
I'll admit there was some luck to it. The fraternity didn't know who their opponents would be, but a win is a win is a win.
John McChesney trying to be relevant again, trying to be a player again.
Eiffel Tower. Stop the pain. I noticed the fraternity have done the smart thing here. As Decker goes for the lateral press for 2, they've isolated not only the injured man, but the inexperienced man. They know what a threat John McChesney is, and they don't want McChesney to be involved.
They know the legend of John McChesney, who John McChesney was, what he used to be able to be capable of. But now, the fraternity is going to pick Dan Hooven apart.
I don't know if John McChesney doesn't hear you say this stuff. There's a single leg grapevine by Channing Decker. 2 frat Channing Decker.
You know what? I'm going to give Dan Hooven a lot of credit. He is showing great resilience. Most people would have been beaten 2 or 3 times over by now in there with the tag team champion. So yeah, he's showing great heart. He's showing great intestinal fortitude.
And McChesney's ire has been raised. And the issue here, not only is Hooven hurt, not only does he have limited mobility, but again, second time in an IWC ring, very inexperienced. He may not have that natural instinct, that ring positioning know-how to be able to find a way to get closer to John McChesney.
Unreal.
And there's Hooven's camera. And again, this is not only a hobby, a passion of Hooven's, and he's invested hundreds of dollars into it.
Oh, absolutely.
He's great at his job.
He's a fantastic photographer, has been for years. Gotten some great shots of me.
And, well, that explains your praise, but you look at the money he's invested, the time he's invested, and to watch the frat destroy that before his very eyes.
Oh!
And Hooven thinking about that as he connects with a jawbreaker. He can barely stand, but gonna fight. DDT nicely done.
Whoa! Where did that come from?
Look at Hooven escaping John McChesney. Can he get to a corner, though? Could be a turning point in this matchup. Gibson and Hooven both in need of tags. Who's going to get there first?
He's not going to get... Oh, my God.
Channing in. Here comes McChesney.
Unreal.
The man in search of the final piece to the IWC Triple Crown. Drop kick nicely done. And McChesney exploding. I believe the only man to hold the Triple Crown in the past is DJZ. McChesney could add his name to the list.
Whoa!
McChesney, a one-man wrecking crew, near fall.
Oh, please don't let him win this belt. We'll never hear the end of it.
Hey, McChesney can complete his legacy. I think it'd be a hell of a feel-good moment.
Ooh! His chops are blistering.
Hey, McChesney staple. Decker puts the brakes on.
Line tag.
Gibson is legal. McChesney's not aware. Low bridge. He's aware now. Caught Gibson. TKO. McChesney's put many away.
No! Oh, thank God.
Half a count away.
Unreal.
What is your personal gripe with John McChesney?
This myth, this language that John McChesney being the greatest ever in IWC. I'm sick of it.
It's because we're talking about John McChesney tonight, not you.
Hey, don't worry, you'll be talking about me very, very shortly.
All right. And Channing Decker got pushed away. Oh, nice chop. And Gibson able to catch McChesney from behind. Look at this.
Electric chair.
Ow.
He's out.
We've seen that double team maneuver on McChesney before.
Thanks for coming, John.
On Britt Baker, on others. 2 count only. And Hooven is there for McChesney. Can you believe that?
No! Took a hell of a shot to the face.
Again, Hooven putting all of his weight on one leg.
Look. Hooven's leg's hurt. He's not 100%. Clearly not 100%.
Not even close, and it's thanks to the Frat capitalizing off of Hooven's
They're going to bring him in the hard way.
That ill-advised dive earlier. And Hooven's not legal. But the Frat just wants to bully somebody.
Come on, Frat. McChesney's hurt. Go focus on him. Don't beat up Hooven.
Here goes McChesney. Look at this.
Sharpshooter.
Sharpshooter, and Decker not sure what to do. Hooven caught Decker.
No way.
Sharpshooter to Decker. Oh, the Fraternity taps out. Will make history. What a moment this would be.
No.
The Frat are hanging on to each other for dear life.
Hooven couldn't hang on. His ankle.
Yeah, Hooven didn't have that balance. And McChesney concerned about his partner trying to direct traffic, and he had to release Gibson.
He's more worried about Hooven than the titles? I can't believe an egomaniac like McChesney.
Hey, McChesney and Hooven are in this together. They need one another. But the Fraternity now taking advantage. Again, Gibson, McChesney still legal.
10 minutes gone by.
Decker tagged in. Oh, if they hit the keg stand, this will do it. Counter. Wait, Hooven tagged himself in. I don't think McChesney knows. Thrust kick to Gibson. Look at Hooven. Crossbody.
No.
Upset.
Man, get me something to drink.
What is wrong with you? Sit down before you have a heart attack. Hooven. In a bad way in his own right, but he's attempting to get something going, get the blood flowing, as Hooven has to get back to McChesney. Wait, and Gibson's got McChesney.
I was wondering where his partner was.
Gibson pulled the leg of McChesney, and Hooven got struck with his own camera. Channing Decker, injury to insult to injury. There you go. Fraternity retained.
Very nicely done. Very nicely done.
I don't know why you're so happy right now. We saw John McChesney's year-long goal, a dream of Daniel Hooven, perhaps both go up in smoke together.
Oh, cry me a river.
Hooven may be seriously hurt.
Bravo! Bravo! Well done! Well done!
Why are you causing problems?
Oh, nicely done.
McChesney making eyes here at LeRusso. Fraternity retained the championships. I don't know why this is so funny.
Hey, good job, guys! Good job!
I feel for McChesney, I feel for Hooven, but Chris LeRusso, you have money on this thing?
Oh, bravo! I told you, he's done. He's finished. We have seen the end of John McChesney. I don't think we're gonna. This is so humiliating. We'll never see him in an IWC ring again. I'll bet you anything on that.
Hey, McChesney and Hooven nearly had the tag champions beat. One of them in his second match on one leg. The other just back from gastric hernia surgery. He was on one leg. I think that was a hell of an effort. Both men should be proud of themselves.
Oh, you're gonna say that was a fantastic effort.
What's wrong with that?
Oh, come on. Oh, great job. Bravo. Hey. Oh.
I'm so mocking McChesney.
See, Joe, here's
how
his
problem.
He's a champion. McChesney's not. I'm gonna go celebrate. Come on.
I know John McChesney may not be tonight, but it's a great ovation for what was nearly our next tag team champions. John McChesney won't forget about that disrespect. A great effort in this tag team matchup, but the Fraternity still rule the roost of tag team wrestling in IWC.
I can go get one. I can take this.
Introducing first, from Cleveland, Ohio, weighing in at 262 pounds, he is the IWC World Heavyweight Champion, the man Wardlow.
The man with War in his name, Wardlow, IWC champion since this past December. And we saw him defeat what at one point was the unbeatable in Jimmy Vegas, and then move on to defeat RJ City that same night. It is an unprecedented feat that Wardlow has done, but BC Steel, what about a month later, back this past month at Reloaded 3.0, and it was Wardlow and someone you know very well by the name of Shane Taylor.
Well, very impressive victory by Wardlow. And I gotta say, conspicuous by his absence tonight, Justin LaBar. I have another scoop for you, Joe. Justin LaBar is actually, as we speak, at a homeless kitten shelter. What? Donating his time, money, and cat food. Humanitarian. He's also giving a speech on how to house train your feline.
Why does he just randomly have cat food in this house?
Well, he in case of donations.
I see. I'm sure none of this is accurate, and LaBar is probably somewhere in front of a camera. But now Wardlow in front of a camera, and he's going to address the people. We don't hear this often.
You may be living under a rock. And quite frankly, looking around, it looks like something you might be. So just in case you don't know who in the hell I am Wardlow. And that's not a gimmick. That's not a made-up character, that is my real name. And I am the most real thing you will ever see walk the face of this earth.
You heard him, Joe.
I'm not going to argue.
As you can see, I am the world heavyweight champion of the IWC. And I don't even have an opponent tonight. However, I think it might have something to do with my track record in this building. Because every time I step in this building, I prove that I'm the most destructive professional wrestler on this earth. The first time I was here, I gave you a rip the ring apart. The last time I was here, I said IWC legend Super Hentai flying through the air, broke every rib in his body, and he hasn't been seen since. So tonight I have an open challenge. I don't care if you're a vet. I don't care if this is your first day on the job. Come out here and prove to me that I'm not the man. I dare you.
Go ahead, Joe.
Well, the man with War in his name is issuing an open challenge to anybody. Usually I'd say that's a dangerous thing. I'd normally say that's a dangerous thing to do in this locker room, but knowing Wardlow, I'm not sure.
Weighing in at 183 pounds,
Plato Merrimack is the self-proclaimed thug sophisticate. He has accredited degrees in philosophy and library science. He graduated the Iron City Wrestling Academy in 2008, graduated the Storm Wrestling Academy, we got another one, in 2009. He's got the Calgary and Pittsburgh flags on his cloak to represent that. But Plato Merrimack considers himself a learned, educated man. How educated is it to accept this challenge, Ben?
Well, I got to be honest. It's a great opportunity to go up against the champion. However, look at Wardlow. That was very impressive, by the way. Did you write that down? Did you, or did you just recite that from memory?
I do my research. The bell rings are underway. What is that on the trunks of Plato? Is that the? It's one of those like sophisticated paintings.
That would be Starry Night. I'm sophisticated as well.
Yeah, I could tell. Wardlow hadn't even taken his championship off yet. Plato with a couple of shots.
Well, everybody wants to be the champ, but you got to go through Wardlow to do it.
And what a conundrum this is.
Oh, wait a minute.
He has an idea. Everybody wait. He's got a book.
Well, that's, I believe, the solution.
Wait, he had something in the book. He had a weapon. And he just got hurled. What is that?
Looks like a wrench. Well, whatever it wasn't effective.
Wardlow throwing a wrench in the plans of Play-Doh. And now treating Play-Doh like Play-Doh as he drives him down. Play-Doh looking up at the Starry Night as he's defeated.
Here is your winner and still the IWC World Heavyweight Champion, Wardlow.
And like I was saying, it's a chance to make a name for yourself overnight, but look at what you have to do to get there. Look at the long odds you have to get through Wardlow. What is this?
Well,
that's Noctis. Apparently we have another recipient of the Open Challenge, Noctis. Man who served his country overseas some years ago and has come back to be a hero type in another form.
Well, he's throwing some shots, I'll give him that.
They're connecting, he's physical, but one shot able to shut him down. And whoa, oh God!
The people in the first row need to thank their lucky stars that there are ropes there, or they would have got a handful of Noctis. A lapful rather.
Well, will Noctis be a handful for Wardlow as he ascends to the top turnbuckle? Wardlow has been dazed for a moment. Oh, Wardlow caught him. Up, into the Wardlow driver. I think Chapter 2's been written.
Here is your winner and still the IWC World Heavyweight Champion, Wardlow.
Wardlow does not look amused.
Well, when you're the best, well, that drunk guy over there in the second row seems to. Well, I don't think he knows where he's at.
This is not Wardlow's music. Is somebody else here?
So this could go on all night.
We know this is a proving ground, but man, this may get you 6 feet underground. Hey, Jamie Jameson's 250 plus pounds, 19 years old. A West Virginia boy, tractor fed, a laborer his entire life, and he's done some training under the legendary Rip Rogers. If anybody could stop Wardlow that is in our rookie class, it might be Jamie Jameson.
We can just look at the size of those arms. I mean, Joe, we got some hosses here in IWC, and we're about to see two of them. I believe he's just as big as Wardlow.
And Jamie Jameson's not intimidated. Only a couple inches smaller, about 10 or 15 pounds lighter, but still able to stand up to the man with war in his name. A series of shots. Back and forth. Jameson's holding his own against the IWC champion.
And he has him rocking and reeling.
Wardlow able to shut him down.
You know, I got to give the kid credit. It takes some guts, and you got to think Wardlow may be a little tired. He didn't just have 2 matches already.
Excuse me? Technically.
He had 2. Oh, my.
He hadn't left his feet yet.
Well, he's a marathon man. We could be here all night.
You just said he was tired. Oh, Wardlow's down. Can you believe it?
Joe, we can count on one hand the number of guys that have taken him down with that ease.
I mean, Shane Taylor, RJ City, Jimmy Vegas, and Jamie Jameson, to the list of guys standing up to Wardlow and getting it done, at least for a moment. Jamie Jameson could be the IWC champion. Spinebuster! Are you kidding me? 2 it? Oh my God!
Joe, we were about 1/10 away from a new IWC champion.
Do you imagine what Justin LaBar is going to think when he hears that?
Well, I promised I'd text him after. I might have to send a pre-warning out. Oh, wait, where's he going?
Well, Jameson, again, this is a big boy, 250 plus pounds. And this may be ill-advised. Wardlow trips him up. And Wardlow takes over.
Now Wardlow's angry. You know, the kid, he showed well, but Wardlow is angry, and an angry Wardlow is a dangerous Wardlow.
To be fair, I've never seen Wardlow happy. German suplex. Wardlow made it look effortless, taking down one of the biggest men in this building. But not bigger than Wardlow. Second time. Ben, who can stop Wardlow?
It's a tall task, no doubt about it. I think you should try, Joe. I think you should go right up there and try.
Oh, belly to belly.
I mean, you mentioned it, 285 pounds, and Wardlow's throwing him around like he's a 5-pound sack of potatoes.
And Wardlow, almost like he's impatient, agitated by the fact that Jameson would dare try to fight him.
Well, he's so good, Joe. There's nobody that measures up. There's nobody.
But is he unbeatable?
As of thus far, yes.
Wardlow with a breathtaking swanton. Made it look easy. But wait a second. Wardlow had this matchup won. Faraway look in Jameson's eyes. But Wardlow wasn't finished. I think Wardlow takes it personally that Jameson was able to knock Wardlow down.
Well, he definitely should be offended. And disrespecting Wardlow, that is your IWC World Heavyweight Champion.
Wardlow, the man that ended Super Hentai's IWC career. The man who... Oh, a spear! Jameson with a spear!
And Joey caught him flush, and Wardlow definitely out of sorts. This might be the most precarious position we've seen Wardlow in quite some time.
And Jameson is going to elevate the big man. Jackhammer by the country hammer. Got him, no. Can you believe it? Wardlow, the man that ended Super Hentai's career in this building, nearly broke our ring in this building. I watched as the ring crew reinforced this ring throughout our live intermission. But Jameson may make history, joining the likes of Palace and Britt Baker and Jimmy Nuts and so many that had huge success at Proving Ground. Moonsault, nobody there. One too many, high risk, neither paid off for Jamie Jameson. Wardlow's done messing around. Wardlow driver and the 1-foot pin. Hentai, DeMarco, and another to the list, pinned by 1 foot.
And still the IWC World Heavyweight Champion, Wardlow.
Wardlow is successful over 3 different athletes. I admired the gumption of them stepping up to the plate and fighting the man with war in his name, but it just did not come to fruition. Wardlow, as of now in 2017 here in IWC, is absolutely unstoppable, and it looks like there's no one left to take up the fight tonight. The man with war in his name will have good news to report back to Justin LaBar. He goes 3-0 in just one night. Officer Dan Murphy is out to enforce the law. He feels there's a lack of authority here in the International Wrestling Cartel. He's here to protect and serve and instill his version of justice and control. I understand before getting into the foray of professional wrestling, Dan Murphy was a mall security guard, and if there's anybody that takes a little bit of power and finds a way to abuse it and walk around like they're tough stuff, it's usually the mall security guards. Dan Murphy has taken that to whole new levels as he feels he is the one to decide what is and is not legal and just in the world of IWC wrestling. And the problem is, he's a big boy. Going to be very difficult for someone to tell him no.
And his partner, coming down the aisle, accompanied by Benjamin C. Steele. He hails from wherever the hell Keaton pleases. Weighing in 316 pounds, the human crime scene of
The human crime scene moniker is very apropos for Bulk Nasty, who's about 6'5", 270 pounds or so, and has been the hired heavy of Chris LeRusso for quite some time. Nearly won the Proving Ground Battle Royal to earn a championship matchup tonight. Was not successful. However, Bulk Nasty with Benjamin C. Steele by his side, and as much of a danger as Bulk Nasty is physically, Benjamin C. Steele certainly is mentally, verbally, and he's just a giant pest, as you can tell by As you can tell by any of the commentary so far earlier, BC Steele is not someone that's easy to hang around. Let's meet the opposition. Two men who went through hell last time they were in this building.
And now Britt, making their way down the aisle, and one of the highway of 1,222 pounds, the king of Marshall, the Cool Bambino, and Rocco,
Marshall the Bull and Bronco McBride headlined our last event here in Rural Valley in a tag team street fight against Remy, LaVey, and Keith Haught. And both those teams went through hell and back, and in the process, Marshall and Bronco earned the respect of many of these fans here in Rural Valley, and a much more warm reception tonight compared to several months ago for the tag team legend of IWC, Marshall the Bull, and his partner Bronco McBride. And interesting to see what the dynamic is going to be as far as the relationship between Officer Dan and Bulk Nasty, because Officer Dan Murphy is not an official part of Benjamin C. Steele's stable, to my knowledge. I mean, they have a lot in common. They're a couple of big, angry dudes. But we'll see if that cohesion can come into play as Marshall the Bull and Bronco McBride said to be the opposition. Marshall doesn't even like how the bell was rung. That's how angry he is. Poor guy's in a bad mood more often than not. As Bulk Nasty able to leverage down Bronco McBride. Bulk showing off his strength, his power. Was Bulk at war with Shane InYaFace a month ago. Runners-up in the Proving Ground Battle Royal, or I should say finalists. Bulk, the runner-up to the eventual winner, Shane InYaFace. And here comes the Bull, 5-time IWC Tag Team Champion, part of the Gambino family dynasty. And Marshall gets pushed off in one lunge, and that's not something I've seen very often in my 10-plus years, 12-plus years of covering Marshall. Ray Rowe, maybe that might be it as far as guys who've manhandled Marshall that way. And Bulk again. Bulk has, and you heard Bulk with his own comments and editorials, he can do this all day. Can Bronco find a way? The shoulder tackle not going to work. Look at Marshall. He gets wiped out. Bulk Nasty is enraged he is not in a championship match tonight. He has come with a mission. Oh, double shoulder tackle, Marshall and Bronco. Take the big man down. And Officer Murphy tags himself in. And Murphy and Bulk already having words. If Officer Murphy has his way, we may see a 187 in this match. And Marshall with an assist, allowing Bronco to take Murphy down. And Officer Dan may want to instill some justice and law, but Marshall has always been rather lawless. He works in the underground. He doesn't subscribe to authority. Bronco's been molded in much the same way. Nice gut buster by Murphy. Now a gut wrench. Nice takeover. Lateral press, hook of the leg. Barely finds two. And Bulk and Murphy continue to have words with one another. I think they're in a little bit of their own game of can you top this? Suplex took every bit of power he had. Bronco's got that low center of gravity. He's tough to maneuver around. And again, a very aggressive exchange, perhaps not mutually agreed upon, between Bulk and Officer Dan Murphy. Bronco for the ride. Side slam coming up. While looking at Marshall, Bulk trying to send a message, but Bulk's getting jawed at from his corner and his opponent's corner. And Bulk showing Officer Murphy perhaps how a suplex is done. One finger pin, are you kidding me? Bronco's a tough guy, mentored by Marshall. No way you're going to beat him that way. But Bronco having a tough time getting to his feet and continuing the fight. And Bronco with a jawbreaker. But back into his own corner for Officer Dan Murphy to tag back in. And now in comes Marshall. Marshall with those body shots. Again, Marshall does not respect any authority. Just ask any management official here ever. And Officer Murphy may want to instill some hard times on Marshall. All the way slam, nicely done. And Bulk tags himself in. And Murphy was doing some great damage to Marshall until Bulk wanted it on in the action. And Dan, I think, has had enough of Bulk. Tag was made. Bulk has no choice. And perhaps Officer Murphy was stewing over Bulk a little bit and allowed Marshall to deposit Murphy to the outside. And Bulk and Murphy. What is this? Bronco through the ropes! But he just bounced on the Bulk. Well, The Baby Bull's been known to take some chances in his time as well. Bulk and Murphy will have to curb this debate for another time. Baby Bull flies, look at that! Are you kidding me? Where the heck did that come from? Marshall, the Bull 280 or so. Overhead with a toe pick and Elo. And now the fight continues on the outside. Officials lost all order here. It's Murphy and McBride. And yes, Marshall took down Bulk with that insane dive. Big men don't move like that. But Marshall found a way, and Bulk and Marshall now into the crowd. Look at it. It's going to get dangerous. And we're going to do our best to follow this. Sorgatron Media, but they're on the other side of the building as our tech area, and there's a lot of heads in the way as these bodies scramble out of the way of these athletes. Don't hurt Jake Garrett. Oh God. I'm not sure what happened, but hopefully you saw it home. I can't do anything. BC's still yelling at me. I got nothing, pal. I'm a journalist. Murphy's back in the ring area. I think he disposed of somebody. Bulk's got some. Let's let the actions tell the story. Well, we have Murphy and Bulk. What? You don't win anything. It's outside the ring. What are you talking about? I'm going to stay outside the ring, pal. Bulk and Murphy have made their way to ringside. Marshall and Bronco have been thrown through rows and rows of chairs and steel and wood and assorted other unpleasant things. They have a 10 count to get back in the ring. And Bulk and Murphy are still having words. This is absolutely out of hand. Look at Marshall, he's at ringside. Can he get there in time? Bronco there as well, although favoring his shoulder. The official had broken the count when Marshall had made his way back in. I guess he's the legal man. I've completely forgotten by this point. And Marshall is hurt. Gut wrench suplex. Nicely done. And now Murphy and Bulk are still having their war of words. And we have a crumpled heap of a Baby Bull and an IWC Tag Team legend in the center of the ring. And Bulk elevates the Bull. And again, Bulk and Officer Dan trying to show up one another. And now, Murphy, almost as if to directly attempt to top the slam of Bulk with one of his own with even longer hang time. He's telling him, you top that. And one guy who may be wishing he doesn't top that is Marshall the Bull, who's had no say in this debate. Bulk doing a little bit of warm-ups here, stretching himself. Again, Marshall's about 280 pounds, and that's not barbell weight. That's not evenly distributed. This weight fights back. No description needed. Running power slam by Bulk Nasty. And Murphy apparently made a tag when Bulk had backed up to get that head of steam. I don't think these two are ever going to get along. Well, as we listen into Murphy and Bulk's jabbering, Bulk daring Murphy to show him something. BC Steel just pulled Bronco off the corner. That's called the 5-0 by Officer Murphy. I think Marshall's beaten here. And Bulk just removed the insignia from Officer Murphy's attire. And Bulk Nasty's taking a walk. The temper finally boiled over beyond repair between Bulk Nasty and Officer Dan Murphy. And fare thee well, says BC Steel and Bulk. And in the midst of all this confusion, look at this! Oh, an elevated version of the Gambino's curse! Bronco and Marshall get the victory! It was a tenuous relationship from day one between the likes of Bulk Nasty and his tag team partner, Officer Dan Murphy. But I'll tell you this, when they were on the same page, they were dominant. They couldn't put their egos aside, and Marshall Bull and Bronco McBride, a tag team victory as Marshall, a tag team legend, shows why and how he can still get it done. Set for further action. What are you doing back here?
I'm back, Joe. I get 2 paychecks this way.
Benjamin C. Seal back with us. Set for women's championship action. Why did you think you won that match?
Well, there was so much stuff going on that there was a pin on the steps.
On the way to the ring right now is Katie Arquette. She says she was sick of being second best in Hollywood. She was always the stand-in or the stunt double or an extra in the background, and she wasn't happy with the fact that she wasn't the center of attention. She wasn't the name that everybody was having on their lips. As a result, she came to wrestling, but she noticed there was a whole new crop of it girls, popular stars, and she thought that if she came to wrestling, she could physically do something about it, unlike in Hollywood. She's here to beat up all the established female stars in professional wrestling and take their spot and take what she considers her rightful place in the spotlight. Nice talking to you, Ben.
My name is Katie Arquette, Queen of the Silver Screen. My name runs in this ring. You should all know where I come from.
She claims to be related to David Arquette, former world champion of WCW.
Britt, Baker. She's the city of champions, correct? Man, she reminds you of Laurel Valley, the city of hicks. Losers.
She's right, Joe. She's right. It says on the marquee, City of Hicks.
It does not.
And losers.
It's a great town for the city of hicks.
Well, it's not spelled correctly, but she is right.
I'm tired of coming in second. I'm tired of being second best. This is my show. You all want to see Britt Baker? You're gonna watch me kick her ass.
Yeah, always the bridesmaid, never the bride. Katie Arquette wants to take what she feels is her rightful starring role. But BC Steel, you know that the established face of IWC Women's Wrestling is Britt Baker. As we welcome you to Britsburg, and whether it's been Marty Bell, April Sarah, Laurel Van Ness, Sonia Strong, on down the line, Ray Lynn, Britt Baker has survived and defeated them all en route to being the first ever IWC Women's Champion. And not only is she beautiful, not only is she talented, not only is she intelligent, she also has accomplished more than maybe anyone of her experience level, because we're talking about just what, year and a half in the game. It's unprecedented how much she's done. Already caught the eye of Shimmer. She was out in Los Angeles a couple weeks ago. Britt Baker is making waves and making moves.
However, she is not nearly the accomplished actress that Miss Arquette is.
Well, let's go to Nick London.
Introducing first is the challenger, making her IWC debut from Hollywood, California, the queen of the silver screen, Katie Arquette. And her opponent from Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania. You see her on Monday Night Raw. She is the IWC Women's Champion, Britt Baker.
And what do you think's going through the mind of Katie Arquette when you compare those two ovations? Not a beloved star response for the self-proclaimed queen of the silver screen, whose diva attitude has not made any friends in Rural Valley.
Well, Joe, she's probably thinking of her legendary relative, former world champion as well. You know what?
How exactly are they related, Katie and David Arquette?
Well, you see, her cousin's sister's wife is David Arquette's wife's sister's cousin. It's all relative. If you go to genealogy.com or that other thing, Ancestry, it's
cousin,
all
sister's wife.
Yeah, sister
right.
wives. And also, I regret to inform you, I was actually notified before I came out here. I'm currently got a legal team on it. I'm actually banned from ringside for Chris LeRusso and Shane InYaFace.
That's the best news I've heard all day.
That's not the best.
I love
news.
it.
I have people on it. Don't you worry about it. I'm pretty sure it'll be handled.
Oh, your lawyer, Greg Gomez III, is not going to be able to get you out of this one.
Good man. You know what else? Somebody's not going to get out of. Britt Baker is not going to get out of this matchup. Because Katie Arquette's going to win. She's going to be on the silver screen. You're jealous, I think.
Of who?
Of Katie Arquette. She's the queen of the silver screen. You're the boob of the boob tube.
Been called worse. Reversal as Britt Baker up and over, tip up on Katie Arquette.
And I'm the domination of commentation.
Nice takeover by Britt Baker. Katie Arquette feels that Hollywood and wrestling and all these places owe her something, but doesn't she realize how hard it is to make it in these worlds? You don't just get handed opportunities, you earn them.
So, you see, it's a very political business.
Cover, shoulders down for two.
It's a very, very political business. Hollywood.
Shoulders trapped again, kick out.
And professional wrestling.
Okay.
I will say,
Lottie Straw finds two.
she definitely does have her work cut out for, you mentioned Britt Baker, the face of IWC. When you think women's wrestling in Pittsburgh, you definitely think Britt Baker. Been impressive, represented not only IWC but herself very well. But she has no victories over Katie Arquette. I know that for a fact.
Katie Arquette has never wrestled a match before.
What? See, you're saying That's an alternate fact that nobody needs to know. I'm giving you the real
Alternative fact.
Yes.
It's her debut.
Yeah, but she still has never been pinned. Never been pinned. Oh, Joe, it's on.
Yeah, there's a way to force yourself into the spotlight. Ouch! And Britt can fire back with the rest of them, and the best of them.
Now, Katie Arquette's face is what makes her money on the silver screen. That I believe
Not
that's
anymore.
I believe it's insured by Lords of London, or Lloyd's, somebody of London.
Somebody's in London. I used to go to England. I could find out who insured her. Kick out, though, by Ms. Arquette. I think she would have got like a token role in the Scream franchise if she was that close to David.
Well, she at the time, there were child labor laws. She was a little younger then. She couldn't.
I see. Waist lock by Britt Baker, trying to keep her opponent in her grasp. Britt's not going to show any fear here. She's gone toe-to-toe on Monday Night Raw with Nia Jax as Arquette with a cheap shot comes in with, I'm not sure if that was the knee or the hip. And Britt maybe checking for teeth.
She'd have to find a good dentist of some sort if she keeps taking shots like that. Yeah, from Punxsutawney, you know what they're famous for?
Yeah, Punxsutawney Phil.
Yeah, a rodent in the ground and Groundhog Day. And I love Bill Murray as much as the next person.
Forget about a dentist. Britt might need a podiatrist by the time we're done.
Well, they save lives.
What? Oh, God. Now kicking the rope into the knee of Baker. That knee and foot just wrenched all across that tightly enforced ring cable. Again, keep in mind, this ring has been reinforced for Wardlow, so there's no give in those ropes compared to normal.
You know, I did actually a stint, a half a semester at podiatry school of Pennsylvania. I'd be more than happy to I do have to stay 50 feet away from her at all times, but I'd be more than happy to help.
That doesn't surprise me either.
That's another legal
5 minutes gone by.
I'd trust Tony Atlas as a podiatrist before you. As Arquette focusing further, not trying to knock the back of that thigh muscle of Britt Baker. Britt can't stand. Obviously, she's not going to have much in her offensive arsenal. Certainly the Britsburg plunge she's perfected over the months, taken completely out of the game if she can't stand.
Well, give Katie Arquette credit there, Joe. She's studied. It's like when you study for a role, you got to study your opponent, and that's what she does. She knows how good. Well, strike that great.
Well, she wants to be the role of women's champion, 2 count only.
She knows how great Britt Baker is. She knows what it means to be the IWC Women's Champion, and she's taking it to her.
Oh, sharpshooter modified. Arquette got to cinch back there, really arch the back to get the most out of that. She was unable to because of Baker bridging up and grabbing onto the rope. Didn't expect that out of Katie Arquette.
I told you, Joe, former world champion, relative. It runs in the family.
I don't think I understand how they're related yet. And I don't think what you said is a thing.
No, it's definitely a thing.
Now, Katie has a sharpshooter again. She has better ring positioning and better leverage. Baker's still trying to bridge her way up.
Joe, these people need to quiet down. I cannot think.
Wow, that's not going to help matters. Everybody waited for you to be able to think. We'd be here till next week.
I'm going to let that one slide. I'm going to have Bulk come out here. It'll be the BC Steel Show.
I think Bulk's busy dealing with Officer Dan and his name tag removal. There's an elbow to the jaw of Katie Arquette. Why did you guys walk out in that match? That was not what I would consider to be a nice clothesline by Britt Baker, but in a can you top this game, I think Bulk kind of lost when he left the fight voluntarily.
You don't know what you're talking about. Detective Dan, or whatever his name is, was not being the partner he needed to be. He wasn't focused. He wasn't listening to me, first of all. Something that you know very well, not listening to the smarter man.
Huh? Katie and Britt both battling to their feet. Katie gets the first shot off on the defending champion.
You know, that's what Katie's got to do. Britt throws forearms like nobody's business.
Britt has represented IWC's women's division with style, with grace, and with all the athletic prowess that one could imagine. And Katie Arquette is looking to steal the show from Britt Baker.
lot of people say Britt Baker is the best unsigned talent out there. And imagine how great it's going to be when Katie Arquette beats her. Imagine.
We'll see. Will she turn from understudy into lead role in just one night? Baker head of steam. Nice rocker dropper. Baker into the cover. Left the top of the anatomy of Katie exposed. She was able to get the right shoulder up quickly.
Who's your money on, Joe?
I'm not betting on this match.
Well,
what are you talking about?
That's because you're a sucker. I'd give you 3-1 odds.
On who?
Yep.
Katie attempting an elevated DDT, and Baker comes back. Again, you're talking about that striking game of Baker. She's as tough as anyone. And Katie, ring positioning may have been the only thing that saved Katie Arquette.
Smart move.
2-0.
Smart move for Miss Arquette, knowing where she's at in the ring. That's some veteran instincts.
Can we keep in mind that David Arquette pinned Eric Bischoff to win the world title? He didn't actually beat a wrestler.
Well, you know what? You've never pinned Eric Bischoff.
No, I haven't. I'm not. I don't claim to have a championship genes lineage.
I happen to know that Courtney Cox Arquette personally is going to buy this DVD.
There's a power slam, 2-0. I thought you were going to give us a more impressive fact than that, but we'll go with that. She's going to purchase the DVD from Sorgatron Media and IndyWrestling.us, as I hope everybody here has. And
she also doesn't like Britt Baker. I didn't want to say that, but she doesn't.
What does she have? What does Courtney Cox Arquette have against Britt Baker? Roll up! Oh, half a count away from the new champion. You're making me say a lot of sentences I never thought I'd say.
Actually, the Friends cast doesn't like her at
all. Britt Baker rolls through. And check this out. Submission attempt, Shades of the Rings of Saturn. Will this be enough to stop Katie Arquette's ambition to be in the lead role? And lower the curtain, this one's over. Britt Baker retains the IWC Women's title, and Katie Arquette looks like she's not done. Katie is incensed once again. Her transition into a starring role was unsuccessful. Britt Baker fights to keep her spot as the best actress, lead role, the queen, whatever analogy you want to make of the IWC Women's Division. And what is Calvin Couture? Couture out here to console Katie Arquette. I don't think she wants to be touched right now. Well, we'll see what these two high society individuals may have in their future. But Britt Baker continues to reign as IWC Women's Champion.
For the main event of the evening,
this is our feature matchup of the night, the IWC Super Indy Championship to be defended. Biggest opportunity of this young man's career. Shane InYaFace had an undefeated amateur mixed martial arts career, but the ever dangerous young athlete has migrated to professional wrestling with a whole new point to prove and new areas to conquer. It's been an arduous road for Shane InYaFace over the past year plus. But he has finally earned his way after winning the Proving Ground Battle Royal into a main event opportunity. But what a test he faces. A guy that's red hot right here in IWC for the past several months. the heir apparent. Chris LeRusso, fresh off the Ring of Honor Top Prospects Tournament 2017. Fresh off of an impressive showing at the world-famous Monster Factory in New Jersey. Chris LeRusso has had a banner year, a banner couple of years in professional wrestling. And really that role started back at House of Hardcore this past October, when Chris LeRusso first won the Super Indy Championship. And from Sam Adonis to Chris Jericho's appearance to everything in between, nothing has shaken LeRusso enough to cause his demise. But LeRusso has not faced a man who has dominated the MMA world like Shane InYaFace. Will the different styles come into play?
It is time to get on your seat. Get on your feet. Live from the Haught Valley Youth Center here in Rural Valley, Pennsylvania. This is the main event of the evening, and it is for the IWC Super Indy Championship. Introducing first, the man in charge of the Meltdown, referee, Bobby Williams. And now, the challenger from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, weighing 205 pounds. This man is an undefeated professional mixed martial artist with all victories by way of first round stoppage. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Shane InYaFace!
All right, wait a minute. Defending champion Chris LeRusso not waiting for the introductions. LeRusso wants to jumpstart on this thing, and Shane InYaFace was ready this time. You can tell LeRusso's intimidated. Maybe LeRusso just a little bit fears Shane InYaFace and what he could capably potentially do to him. And LeRusso now on the run of the defensive. Shane InYaFace looks in better shape, more focused and determined than I've ever seen him in his young career. Shane could make himself overnight with a Super Indy title victory. Add himself to a list of men that include AJ Styles, Corey Graves, Chris Sabin, John McChesney, DJ Z, and many others. A championship that has helped make or solidify careers. Hook of the leg against Shane InYaFace, less than half a count away, as LeRusso is completely off his game in the early going. And Shane take down to LeRusso, again a near fall situation. And straight into the adjustment as Shane now with a modified armbar, the cross arm breaker. You see the distance between LeRusso's body and his own arm and shoulder. LeRusso has to bridge the gap, I should say, as Shane turns things into a triangle choke for two. LeRusso back with a thrust kick. Fervent pacing from Shane InYaFace as he has an answer to LeRusso's counters. LeRusso easily has the experience advantage. But if this matchup is a grappling contest, if LeRusso stays in Shane's grasp, it may be advantage the youngster. And InYaFace lives up to his name with that uppercut. LeRusso wants nothing to do with Shane anymore. And notice, based on what BC Steele told us, as Shane taken to the outside via the trunks, BC Steele's been banned from ringside, and I love it. LeRusso tripped up. LeRusso scratching, clawing, crawling away, but nothing doing. This is all Shane InYaFace. Oh no! Oh, Shane got a head of steam. Mid-air, huge wind-up. And InYaFace ended up punching, oh no, punching that ring post with all of his might, and now LeRusso sends Shane into the adjacent ring post. And oh, LeRusso, I think just kicked the ring steps into Shane's hand. It was wedged between the steps and the ring. And I think Shane has had some serious damage done to that right hand. And LeRusso's been able to sense that. Oh, God! I'm not sure if one of Shane's knuckles are broken, or maybe more, or perhaps it's multiple bones. As Shane is trying to take away the vertical base of LeRusso, as LeRusso's just trying to bend and stretch and twist at the hand and fingers of Shane InYaFace, and every movement of that hand has got to send just shockwaves of pain throughout Shane's hand and arm, and LeRusso is now relentless. And this is why LeRusso is very cerebral and dangerous. This is why he's the heir apparent. He can pick you completely apart if he finds one little opening. And it was Shane's gusto. Wait, it's that cradle by Shane. It was Shane's gusto that may have led to his downfall. LeRusso created an opening and is now capitalized perfectly. Oh. And this has neutralized, this has taken away the most devastating part of Shane's arsenal. Not only the strikes that Shane possesses, but his ability to grip and bend at the anatomy of LeRusso. You saw that arm breaker, that triangle choke, and oh, Shane tried to fire away a right hand, but you can tell he didn't have as much behind it as he wanted. LeRusso, the armbar takedown, and Shane InYaFace, it hurts to show any movement at this point. LeRusso has Shane right where he wants him. Look at an uncomfortable angle that hand is being bent and twisted into. Oh, that is sick. But LeRusso has no moral compass when it comes to this thing. He just huge elevation on the leg drop. He revels in the suffering and torture of others, does Chris LeRusso. Into the cover, 2 count only.
5 minutes gone by, 5 minutes gone by.
And Shane is looking at a career opportunity, but a severely injured body part. Thrust kick, nobody there. Shane using his head as a weapon. German suplex. I notice Shane is grabbing onto the waist of LeRusso in a way where his fingers aren't clasped. He's supplementing the limited use of the right hand with his upper body strength all around. Great maneuverings by Shane. Can he get off another German? Roll up out of the corner. Into the Chaos Theory. Shades of former IWC champion Ray Rowe. Is it a sign of things to come for Shane InYaFace? Well, what must be going through Shane's mind? How must the damage done to the hand be renting space in the head of Shane? Not just the pain, not just the heat of the moment, but thinking about what permanent damage perhaps may be ahead if Shane continues the fight. And look at this now. Shane using his feet. His hands are damaged. His feet are good. And LeRusso's found himself trapped. Those round kicks have connected flush with Chris LeRusso every time. And even without the ability to strike with the right hand, Shane InYaFace potentially a knockout shot. Caught LeRusso high, but Chris grabs onto the bottom rope. May have been all Chris had there, to find the rope. I don't know that he had the wherewithal to power his way out. Shane InYaFace attempting that dragon sleeper. He calls it the facelift, but LeRusso scouts him well, takes out the knee. Shane is prone and right to the butt of the jaw. And Shane, and LeRusso the headlock driver. And that'll do it. LeRusso has found a way. Shane has been defeated. Whoa! No! And Shane fights onward. And LeRusso, headlock driver again? No. Counter! Facelift! He's got the dragon sleeper with the good arm. The body scissors cinched. Will LeRusso tap away that which means more to him than anything else? Oh, LeRusso barely to the ropes. Sam Adonis couldn't stop LeRusso. Facade couldn't. The franchise Shane Douglas couldn't. Is Shane InYaFace that man? And LeRusso caught Shane high. Springboard, and Shane caught LeRusso. But it was the bad hand of Shane that connected. It did its damage, it thwarted LeRusso, but what did it do to Shane? Low bridge, and Shane hits the floor with an awkward splat. And LeRusso senses the surroundings and immediately goes down to favor his knee. Some of those psychological tactics, Shane thinks that LeRusso has wrenched that knee, so now he doesn't realize that LeRusso was baiting him in. Club handle driver. LeRusso hooks a leg. LeRusso retains the championship. Oh, wait a second. LeRusso running his mouth, but John McChesney did not forget LeRusso's very disrespectful wording of him earlier tonight. And McChesney, I believe a 4-time Super Indy champion, one of the greatest ever. Perhaps LeRusso has another mountain to climb. Maybe we'll see it right here. Oh, no, 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 no. Boat Nasty and BC Steel. And John McChesney unknowingly walked right into a trap. Wait a minute. Dan Hooven limping to the ring. And BC Steel just got it. Boat Nasty got sent to the floor. And now the fight between Hooven and Boat continues. And now it's one-on-one. McChesney lights up LeRusso. One of the men that helped build Super Indy. With a comment on Chris LeRusso's treatment of the title. John McChesney making his intentions known. Arguably the greatest Super Indy champion of all time.
That's right, you are going to be screaming on these speakers with big leads to Super Indy champ again. March 11th, brother, make it happen right now. March 11th, we're back at Courtside Sports Center, Elizabeth. We're celebrating our 16th anniversary, and I don't see why we shouldn't see one of the greatest Super Indy champions of all time.
for that.
Let's make it official right now! IWC 16! Big League John McChesney! LeRusso for the Super Indy title!
In the 16 years of IWC, John McChesney has reigned as one of the greatest champions of all time. Could he have one more run with a title that made Big League famous at IWC 16?